kill notorious bandits, Buhari Yadi, 35 others in Kaduna. Mixed reactions trail EFCC's controversial prosecution of Yahya Bello. Amid tough economic conditions, Salah travels affected by fare hikes. And on the foreign scene, at least 42 killed by suspected terrorists in eastern Congo. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News. I am Segun Ojumu. Troops of the Nigerian army have killed an infamous terrorist, Buhari Yadi, one of the alleged deadliest bandit leaders terrorized in northern Nigeria in the last decade. Overseeing Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs Kaduna, Samuel Arwan, said on Thursday that the troops of the Sector 6 Operation World Punch rained down fire on the kingpin known as Buhari Alhaji Haladu, alias Buhari Yadi, and his cohorts, terminating their spell of terror. Arwan said the troops began the covert operation in response to the intelligence reports on terrorist movement from Samanaka, Saulawa area of Katsina State. He added that on advancing to Samanaka, the troops found the settlement destroyed and cattle killed, evidence of recent criminal activity by the bandits. According to him, the merciless bandit was also known to have links with other deadly terrorist groups in the northeast and northwest. Elsewhere now, troops from 6th Brigade, Nigerian Army Sector 3 Operation Willstroke in Jalingo have declared 4 suspected bandits wanted in Taraba State. Acting Director Army Public Relations Officer Lieutenant Oni Olubodunde said in a statement that the Army have cleared a bandit camp located in the Chenkai Forest of Wukari local government area of Taraba. He said the troops during an operation in the area discovered and cleared the camp used by the bandits. According to the statement, the bandits, on sighting the troops, fled, leaving behind several items including 12 mobile phones, 3 international passports, and charms were recovered from the camp. The anti-graft case of the year, as the probe of the immediate past governor of Kogi State continues to capture the imaginations of Nigerians who remain perplexed by the inability of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to successfully prosecute the fraud case. While the EFCC says it remains committed to bring Yahya Bello to book, the case seems to have lost its momentum. Lillian Ogazi tells us more.
Grabbed headlines for the obvious reasons.
Submit yourself to the rule of law. Let me be sure that, look, I don't get convictions. My job is to investigate and prosecute. Conviction is the responsibility of the court. So nobody should come and blame me. I didn't get conviction. Mine is to do my work diligently and leave it to the judiciary. For civil society to follow up too.
Weeks have gone by without much to show for it. No court appearance and no explanation. This conundrum has not only raised eyebrows but has also led to public outcry, with many Nigerians calling for more decisive action from the EFCC. The EFCC, through its acting zonal director, has expressed that Bello's failure to present himself in court undermines the integrity of the Nigerian judicial system. Umar Yakubu, the executive director of the Center for Fiscal Transparency and Public Integrity, who in an interview with Trust Television emphasized the importance of accountability, especially for those in positions of power.
It's actually not a slap on the EFCC. I think it's a slap on democracy. You know, this Fourth Republic now is 25 years old, and democracy is being driven by rule of law, meaning nobody should be above the law. Now, it is quite unfortunate for somebody that was the chief executive officer of a state for 8 years, does not have the political maturity, does not have the integrity to even present himself, not only before law enforcement, before any public institution, to explain himself what he did with public funds for 8 years.
The general sentiment among Nigerians is one of disappointment. Yet, there remains a hopeful expectation that the EFCC will intensify its efforts.
Maybe he has a set of people backing him up. So because he's not bigger than Nigerian law. So if at all the EFCC invite him and court need him and he failed to show up in court, that means I think they need to arrest him.
I think the FCC should keep on the fight because it's a big allegation, and as a corruption, in fact, You need to fight the case to the last.
When you're a public officer, you don't talk anyhow. There's a rule and procedure. And besides, you can't be judged on your own case. You can even get to Ayabelo and the court free in. So you can't be judged in your own case. You have to be learned and cool-headed.
The simple truth is, who is looking for who? Is it the government looking for Ayabelo or Ayabelo looking for government? Is it the EFCC looking for Ayabelo or Ayabelo looking for EFCC? My dear sister, it is high time they stop fooling us in this country.
As the case unfolds, the nation watches with bated breath, awaiting the next course of action. Will Yahaya Bello face the charges against him? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the fight against corruption in Nigeria continues. Lilian Ogazi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Supreme Court has reserved its judgment on the suit filed by the federal government to secure full autonomy for the 774 local governments in the country. On Thursday, a 7-man panel of the court led by Justice Garba Lawal reserved the matter for judgment through the governors of the 36 states. Through the representatives, to their respective attorney generals, adopted their briefs of argument. That is after the governors, the attorney generals adopted their briefs. Now, the states, in separate preliminary objections, sought the dismissal of the suit with substantial cost. They argued that the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, who initiated the action on behalf of the government, lacked the local standard to do so. Furthermore, the defendants alleged that the AGF breached their rights to a fair hearing by failing to serve them with a copy of a further affidavit filed in support of the suit. Additionally, some states contended that they already have democratically elected local government officials in place and insisted that the suit by the federal government amounted to an abuse of the judicial process. After hearing from all parties, the Justice Lawal-led panel stated it will communicate the judgment date to them. The federal government in the suit prayed the Supreme Court to grant full autonomy to all local governments, recognizing them as a third tier of government. We'll stay in the court now because the Federal High Court sitting in Kano has assumed jurisdiction to entertain the case of the Kano Emirate Council tussle. Presiding Judge Justice Abdullahi Liman ruled that his court has jurisdiction to listen to the case, especially as it concerns the applicant's fundamental human rights. The Sadiq Dawaki Aminu Agundi had filed an application before the court challenging the reinstatement of Muhammadu Sanusi II as the 16th Emir of Kano, after which the state government challenged the jurisdiction of the court to even entertain the matter.
You have seen today, we were here for the ruling of the court on the issue of jurisdiction. And jurisdiction, as we converse and argue that the court lacks jurisdiction to entertain the matter because it has, as the primary claim, issue of chieftaincy title. But the court, in its wisdom, was able to distinguish the cases we cited with the present case. So, however, the court assumed jurisdiction to entertain the matter because, based on the court's wisdom and finding that the applicant's fundamental right has been breached.
The court has ruled that it has jurisdiction, and that is the business of the day. The last time we were here, the argument was whether the court has jurisdiction to entertain this case or not. But today, we have successfully convinced the court that the court has jurisdiction.
Residents of Ada in Burikwe local government area of Osun State have confronted their House of Representatives member, accusing him of not fulfilling his campaign promises. The member of the House of Representatives representing the Ifelodun, Burikwe Odotin Federal constituency of Osun State, Olusoji Adetunji, visited his area ahead of the Salah festivities. A video shared online shows the moment the reps member was ambushed by his constituents following his arrival. According to reports, his people felt insulted by the Salah handouts he came to give to them while riding in his expensive car. Locals can be seen screaming and calling for the reps member to be beaten as they surrounded him. Nigerians have been urged to continue supporting democracy as the nation marks the 31st anniversary of democratic governance. Residents of Osun State made the call on Wednesday, reflecting on the country's journey towards democratic enthronement. They emphasized the need for good governance at all levels to justify the sacrifices made by Nigerians, particularly those who fought for the establishment of democracy.
We want free, fair, and credible election. That is what June 12, 1993 represents. But unfortunately, what we're witnessing in Nigeria today is not what we want. But we are trying to remind our leaders that Nigerians, they were the one that elected you, and they elect you to work for them, work for our people, to have peace of mind.
Yes, we may not have arrived at our goal, our set goal, but definitely we've moved forward. And the fact that we have taken a first step means that we can do better going forward. Yes, times are hard, people are complaining, but even at that, we need to be grateful.
Late Abiola is a model on his own. And when we talk of democracy, it actually signifies one thing, that during this election, there's accountability and transparency. Everybody knows he won the election. But because of one thing or the other, it was annulled. But it's better, that it's good that we are remembering it as the watershed for democracy in Nigeria.
With just days to the Eid celebrations across the world, many in Nigeria's Muslim community are facing daunting challenges made worse by rising transportation costs. This joyous occasion, usually marked by communal prayers, feasting and family gatherings, is now tinged with the stark reality of financial strain for many individuals and families. In this report, Trust TV's Dorcas Yakubu speaks to traveling Muslims and other passengers at Abuja's Jabi Park on the cost of transportation.
The removal of fuel subsidy by the government last year has significantly increased transportation costs, leaving many commuters unable to afford fares. The economic challenges faced by Muslims during the Salah period are multifaceted. For low-income earners, the financial strain of transportation costs is particularly acute. Many individuals and families are forced to choose between celebrating the religious holiday with loved ones and meeting their basic needs for food, shelter, and healthcare.
The transportation before from here to my place in Kogi State, Ankpa, we are paying 3,000, 4,000, but today we are paying 10,000. The cost of the transport, many people want to go home for Salah celebration. We cannot make it because of transport. Me, like somebody like me, I wanted to go with my children. But now, because of the cost of the living, the transport, I cannot go again. So I'm going alone. So it's affecting everybody. Many Muslims are not going to do their Salah sacrifice this year because of the cost of a small ram like this is up to 150, 250,000. So which is bad.
We've been here for the past 2-3 hours. We've been in a vehicle. They asked us to come there because they've been increasing the money from 10,000 to like 12 to 15,000 naira from Abuja to Kano. So the situation is not helping matter. Maybe lack of money. People want to travel and there's no money, and government people are not here to help. So please, APC or PDP, what would I call it? I don't know what to call them. The thing is not favoring Nigerians at all. But should please make vehicle available for people, even if it's not free. At least the transport fare should be moderate to people.
Everything is expensive. Transportation, everything. We don't have nothing to say other than may God continue to provide for us. They've increased the transport fare. We used to pay 4,000 naira to Jos, but now we are paying 7,000 naira. Speaking with park officials, they lament the low passenger numbers due to the hike in the cost of transportation, calling on government to offer solutions to the problems.
We are facing challenges for people here when they are traveling. They used to be talking about the price of the fuel on the car, and they are crying. So we don't know what to do. Traveling is not like before. Why? Because money no dey for people hand. So government, they have to support people at least, so that make people know, say, the country, we have a new government.
The last year and this year is not the same. because this year is not, most of the people, majority carry the ball. Most of them don't have money. Most of them, if you ask person, they say, no, I'll do Salah here. Also, I say, I'll do Salah here. Not be everybody, like last year, before 2 weeks to Salah, this party already deployed anywhere. People are moving anywhere. The whole system of Nigeria. So we are surprised this year as the team coming.
The hardship has hindered people from traveling. The vehicles here are not enough because the drivers are complaining that they usually come down here with empty vehicles, no passengers. That's why there is a little increase in the fare. As you can see, the vehicles load into Kano are not more than 4. Before now, you'll see about 20 vehicles. People are complaining there's no money. We are calling on the government to please reduce the cost of fuel.
As Muslims navigate the complexities of economic hardship and transportation costs during this Salah season, the spirit of resilience, solidarity and compassion remains paramount. Despite the obstacles, the shared values of faith, family and community serve as a source of strength and unity, reminding us of the importance of supporting one another during times of adversity. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Ahead of the upcoming Eid al-Kabir festival, ram sellers in Lagos, Ogun and Ondo states are grappling with sluggish sales due to its high cost, which they attributed to high cost of fuel and insecurity in the northern parts of the country. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim Nadubi now reports.
In Alabarago, Lagos, and Isherikara in Ogun State, the price of bigger rams ranges from 600,000 naira to 1,200,000 naira, while medium rams go from 350,000 naira to 500,000 naira, and small rams ranges from 150,000 naira to 300,000 naira. Places like Abekuta in Ogun State and Zango Akure in Ondo State, their bigger rams go for 600,000 naira to 800,000 naira. Babagana Ali, a ram seller at Zango Akure, lament low customers turnout. He said there is low customer turnout as customers complain of high cost and economic meltdown. Sharif Ogunjubi, who was at Sabo Abekuta cattle market to buy cow, lament hike in the price as he urged for government intervention.
May God help us. So I think everybody knows what is going on in this Nigeria. The thing is very, very expensive. It's too much, it's too cost. The lowest, the smallest one here, that calling 600, 700 for the cow. The big one is around 900 to 800. So that you can hear the sound. I think government have a lot to do. They should do something about the economy. So I think everything is just high. The living is not okay for everybody now. Everybody is just managing.
Salisu Muhammad Gidan Dudu from Zamfara State disclosed that Zamfara happened to be the largest producer of rams in Nigeria before, but is now crippled due to the activities of bandits in the state. Hence the decrease in supply and increase in the price.
You know, a lot of challenges were facing in Zamfara, most especially this bandit. You know, all this ram is deal with the village and villagers. So due to this insecurity, normally villagers are suffering from this insecurity that we are having in Zamfara state. If you compare 10 years back, we have at least 20 to 30 trailers of the ram that we used to bring from Zamfara to this Ogun State. But due to this insecurity that we are facing now, is almost never reached 8 to 9.
Wasiu Osho, who was in Sabo Abekuta to buy ram, disclosed that the price of ram ranges from 400,000 naira to 500,000 naira.
As if you want buy ram, it's okay for good. You go buy 400 or 450.
Sellers are worried that in the midst of economic hardship, local government are taxing the traders huge amounts of money without providing them with the basic amenities.
So the place itself, no security, no day. Security, no day. I mean, some people go sleep for a year. No give police, no give anything. You go say your motor, trailer motor, come in this place. No have your load. You go collect 100,000. Local government. Person don't buy ram 300,000, go pay 2,000 naira from ticket. How you go do like this?
From Abeokuta, Abbas Ibrahim Talibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
Away from Nigeria, at least 42 people have been killed by suspected Islamist rebels in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo's North Kivu province. Two officials from the local administration say the attack took place on Wednesday in the village of Maikengo in Lubero territory. A spokesman for Congo's army in the region confirmed the attack and said a statement will be issued. The attack mirrors a similar incursion earlier this week on villages in the same province, attributed to the insurgents that killed at least 80 people. Lubero Administrator Alain Kiwewa said death toll of between 20 and 30 had been reported on Thursday morning, adding that the number was provisional and expected to increase. He blamed the Allied Democratic Forces, or ADF, a rebel group affiliated with Islamic State that started as Ugandan insurgency but has operated from the jungles of eastern Congo for almost 3 decades. And in sports, Nigeria will face Mauritania in the 2024 Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. The draw ceremony took place at the headquarters of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, on Thursday. CAF announced the parents on its X handle. In other parents, defending champions Senegal will be up against Guinea, while Angola face Morocco. Ghana will also do battle with Cote d'Ivoire. The other games in the qualifiers are Tanzania vs Uganda, Seychelles vs Mozambique, and Burundi vs Malawi. The first legs of the qualifiers are billed for the 19th to 21st of July 2024, while the second legs will hold between 26th to 28th of July. The Beach Eagles have won the competition twice, in 2007 and 2009. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News. Many thanks for watching. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Shegun Oju. Many thanks for watching. Goodbye.